All right, so boom, check it out. So when you think of biscuits, you think of Red Lobster, and now you're going to think of these. Top two, and I promise you these is not two. We got Boudin stuffed biscuits. So let's get into the recipe. First, you're going to get your Boudin, put on a cutting board, and then take the skin off first. Then next, what you're going to do is go ahead and cook the Boudin just till it browns some in a preheated skillet on medium heat. So probably about like 5 minutes roughly. Then go ahead and get to mushing everything on down just a bit because we're going to make this kind of into like a ground mixture, if you will. Next up, what we're going to do is get some roughly chopped onions. It don't really matter how thick or thin they are. Add that on in, and we're still going to continue cooking. Also add in some shredded cheese. I go with Parmesan, but you can do whatever works for you. If you want to do cheddar, that is your prerogative on this. A recipe is kind of just a guideline. All right, next we're gonna get our favorite hot sauce. Mine is Louisiana, so we're gonna add that in just to give it a little bit of kick. All right, listen, if you ever wanted me to actually cook for you in person, now is your chance right here. All right, so I'm doing a private dinner raffle that's gonna be going through the end of this month, and we're gonna announce the winners at the beginning of August. All right, so it's gonna be a fully catered dinner for two, 3-course meal, and then all I need from you is to simply give me your stove and step out the way, and I got the rest. So the tickets are available via the link in my bio, or you can go to cordandthekitchen.com. Again, that's cordandthekitchen.com. All right. If you haven't already, go ahead and grab your tickets. And best of luck. Yes, Lord. Anyway, so back to the recipe. So this is such an easy recipe. What you're going to do is get some Bisquick biscuit mix. Follow the instructions. You see it says just add water. Just follow the instructions on the back and you good. You good. All right. So we're going to go ahead and mix up our water and biscuit mixture. And once it's done, you don't need to over mix it or anything like that. You really don't. What you're going to do next is get an ice cream scooper and then just simply scoop it onto a baking sheet as you see there. Make sure you spray the baking sheet first with some oil so that way the biscuits don't stick once everything's done. Now, with making the biscuits and forming them, what you're going to do, make sure you wet your hands so that way the dough doesn't stick. And it makes this whole process a lot more complicated. All right. So wet your hands and then make sure you get the Boudin stuffed inside of the dough. All right. It's going to take a little bit of doing. Once you have it nice and formed, it should look something like that. And then set it back on your baking sheet. Now we just place our biscuits in the oven once you have them all complete. And then cook them at 450 degrees until they're nice and golden. And let's start with our butter sauce. So you're going to get about half a stick of butter. Use some Kerrygold or Lando Lakes. I say real butter is best. Then you're going to season it with some Old Bay blackened seasoning or regular Old Bay. Then follow it up with some Cajun seasoning of your choice. I say unsalted is best. Then you get you some parsley just for coloring. And we're going to use our favorite hot sauce. I like Louisiana, but do what works for you. And then that's some Frank's Red Hot honey garlic. Melt that butter on down. And look, our biscuits are done. So look, you're going to get some butter just to make them all nice and moist. I don't know what bothers so many people, but yeah, moist and succulent biscuits. And it's time to dig in, y'all. Like, you just ever ate something that really just snatched your soul or had something that just, it was so good, I couldn't even get it out. But yes, Lord.